Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure. Hey guys, welcome. Good afternoon. Thanks everyone for joining. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes. Just getting YouTube going and we're going to get started. Hope everyone's having a great day and let's see what the markets are doing this afternoon.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the live session of Stocks Number Trading. My name is Dave, guys. My partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell it, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Recording in progress.
Hey everyone, welcome. Thanks everyone for joining. Welcome to Stock Snapper Trading. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave. It is 10:45 a.m. Eastern. It's Tuesday, January 20th. So thanks everyone for joining. Lots going on in the markets right now. So we had a U.S. bank holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day yesterday. And now the markets are moving. They're open and Wall Street's open. And right now, Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, he's speaking at the World Economic Forum right now in Davos, live right now. So tomorrow morning is Donald Trump will be speaking at the World Economic Forum at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So that's going on right now. And today, guys, we're gonna go over briefly right over today's news, and we're gonna be looking at gold and NASDAQ today. So we'll do a top down on both of those securities. I'm gonna put them on maybe split screen, and we'll see what's going on with those two securities. Okay, so I hope everyone's having a great day. Again, please, guys, we are not financial advisors here at SST. Dave and I are here to help educate about price action from what we know, what we've learned. And please use proper risk management if we do decide to take any trades, okay? And let's have a good session and let's have a good week. And let's see what the markets are doing right now, okay? So first thing is news today. We had some news coming out of Europe, specifically with the UK over here. We moved into North American session. So the World Economic Forum annual meetings are going on right now. Today's day 2. Prime Minister Carney is speaking right now. He's talking about we stand by Greenland. Alliances should work together and things like that right now. We had the Bank of England Governor Bailey speak also earlier this morning. We went through North America, but there wasn't too much North American news. A lot was European news. Normally around this time at 8:30, we see some U.S. or Canadian high impact folders. There was nothing today. We had Wall Street market open and after the bank holiday. And we don't have much news this afternoon for our session, okay? Tomorrow, there's more news. Tomorrow, if you guys will be day 3 for the World Economic Forum. And just heads up, tomorrow at 8:30, normally this is when we're trading gold and getting ready for the New York markets. President Trump will be speaking at the World Economic Forum. So please be careful. It is showing you a red folder, high impact. And sometimes Donald Trump, if there's no teleprompter, that man goes off with no script and he says whatever he wants. Okay, so you have to be very careful because it will impact the markets if he says anything regarding the markets. Okay, and Let's get into this earnings wise. There was some earnings this morning. 3M company reported this morning. Some smaller regional banks were reporting. However, in the after hours, we do have a big name reporting in the after hours today, and it is Netflix. So please, guys, if you are trading NASDAQ or S&P 500, Netflix reports right at the close of the market, right at 4 p.m. Their earnings per share are estimated at 55 cents per share, and they're looking approximately $12 billion over the last quarter in revenue. So we'll see if they beat that, if it's a disappointment, or but more so, I'm listening to forward guidance. They are in talks with Warner Brothers and takeovers and things like that. So we'll listen in on what's going on there. Okay, and then there's some other reports coming in the after hours. Okay, and then tomorrow morning, Johnson & Johnson, Halliburton, Charles Schwab are lined up tomorrow morning, okay? And just around the day-to-day news, what do we got going on? Treasuries joined global bond slide after Japan-led sell-off. So this was from last night in the Tokyo session. If you listen to the Bank of Japan monetary policy, there's a little bit of a sell-off going over here. What I just talked about, Netflix will be reporting in the after hours at 4 p.m. today. So Netflix submits amended all-cash offer for Warner Brothers. So we'll see what happens with that. So now they're putting in an all-cash offer to acquire Warner Brothers. Bank of America survey shows investors are unprepared for a stock correction, if there is one, coming in the near future. I have a lot of messages for Davos. Trump doubles down on Greenland. So that's going to be tomorrow. That's going to be really, really interesting as to what develops there. Right now, Carney kicks off the day at the WEF. He's speaking right now. I have it on BNN Bloomberg News, so I can see him speaking right now. I have the volume turned down, but I can see what he's saying over there. Oil swings as traders weigh Greenland crisis and supply outlook, and tariffs starting to bump up product prices, Amazon CEO. So there was supposed to be a Supreme Court ruling on the tariffs. I think it got delayed again. So I'm not too sure as to what is going on with that. They were supposed to do this earlier and also for today, but nothing so far has came out. Okay, so that's our news. Guys, in our Discord, we sent out a few signals. This was one earlier on gold, nice little sell right there. So you can see we got some black volume closing below 47.30, what we were looking for, pulled back up. Again, if you cut that black body in half, you're still below the point of control. You get more consolidating volume below, and then we get that push down, but then it rotated right back up, and then there's the retest of the location, and then finally the redistribution of the volume. Okay, so we'll be looking at NASDAQ today and gold when we do our top down. And guys, if you need some help with some trade signals, trade ideas, we do provide these here at SST on a daily basis. And guys, we do have a free Telegram. It's pinned at the top of YouTube for you guys. Here's all the live links for us when we go live on our YouTube channel. Here's before and afters of the trade ideas, signals with the trade management breakdown. This, guys, is the Sniper Fitness and Trading coming soon. This is my garage. I'm kind of renovating it right now into a gym, and I will be streaming there in the near future as well to get out of this basement and get some fresh air outside. So I will be doing that. It's under construction. I'm renovating it day by day whenever I got some free time. So that's a work in progress, and but you guys should be taking care of your mental health and your physical health as well. So get into the gym, guys, as much as you can. It clears the mind. You know, if you're stressed out from trading, always get into the gym 45 minutes a day and get off the charts. Go do something good for your body, your health. And when you start getting in better shape, you're going to start eating better. You're going to start sleeping better, and you're going to start feeling better. And Dave and I, we love fitness and we love trading and everything. So, guys, and we had a blog the other day on the petrodollar, the emergence and the evolution of it. You can read that and learn a little bit about the petrodollar. Okay, so this free Telegram link is pinned at the top of YouTube for all of you guys. We highly recommend you join this so you don't miss out on anything. And guys, our website, stocksnipertrading.com. Lots of education on here with myself and Dave. We have the SST Psychology and Mindset Coach over here. This series we're doing, there's going to be 25 topics. We're breaking them down every other week. There's one pre-recorded, will be uploaded to the website. Lots of courses, a lot of webinars, a lot of boot camps, a lot of education over here. And guys, we did another blog over here on this company, TRX Gold. TRX Gold Corporation, it trades on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So this is a beginner's guide to this rising junior gold producer. I will go over it during our call. If we get some consolidating volume, I'll read this blog for us and help us understand more about these companies. We had a blog a while ago, a couple months ago, on Aris Gold, ARIS, and it's gone up over 100% since we called it out, all-time highs. So, you know, guys, whenever you're trading, a lot of us trade gold, XAU, USD, and GC. So, in order to get gold, you have to mine it. You got to pull it out of the earth. So there is a lot of junior mining companies all over the world, and they are publicly traded companies. And when gold is going to all-time highs, it's a high probability and correlated with these mining companies that they're going to be going up as well, okay? You can do it with silver companies as well. There's a lot of them listed and publicly traded. And finally, guys, if you can leave us a like on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate it. Every subscribe helps us out, grow the channel, and keep us motivated to come here on a daily basis and be with you guys, okay? Now, let's get into it with gold. We're going to start off with gold, then I'll get into it with NASDAQ. We're going to do a top-down analysis. We're going to bring it down from the daily, hourly, right down to the 5 minutes. We'll see, like yesterday, if you guys remember, it was pretty choppy. It was pretty consolidated. And then finally, we got a little break to the downside for about 50 pips. But it was a tough hour, 90 minutes of consolidating action. So we'll see what we get in today's session. And everyone on Zoom, thanks everyone for joining. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Justin, thank you for joining. Congratulations again on your baby. I hope you're doing well and ready to join us when you can. Sergio, good morning. Thanks for joining. Trevor, welcome. Round two, here we go. Yep. Round one, round two. We got a couple rounds here at SST. Sang, good morning. Dale, good morning. Mike, good morning. Your name is Disappointed. Welcome. I hope you're not disappointed with us at SST. Conrad, welcome. Rafi, good morning. Thank you for joining. Welcome, Danny. Mike, good morning. Thanks, guys. Trevor, yeah, I'm still smoking. I try and get in good shape, but I can't give up weed right now. I can't, guys. I try, but I can't. Like, I try to eat healthy. I work out, you know, but you won't see this guy quitting weed. I'm sorry. I need it. It helps me, guys. It's like medicine. So I don't know. I could go into a whole webinar on that, but we don't need to get into that. And everyone on YouTube, thanks for joining, everyone. Justin, welcome. Raj, welcome. Thank you for joining. Sergio, thank you for joining again. Welcome, guys. See, you're in Zoom and YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, guys. Romario, welcome. Remy, good afternoon. Thanks for joining. Ty Nelson, you've already made your 5%. You're going duck hunting right now. Nice. I got a nice Ducks Unlimited hoodie that my neighbor is big into duck hunt. He goes duck hunting, pheasant hunting, quail hunting. He's into all of that, and he got me a nice Ducks Unlimited hoodie. So welcome, guys. And Adam, thank you for joining all the way from Algeria. Thank you for joining, brother. Okay, so let's get into this. I'm going to start off with gold. It's moving right now. We have NASDAQ over here as well, but I'm going to do gold first, and we're going to do a top down. So I'm going to start it on the daily. Ron's had a lot of coffee this morning, so you'll probably see I'm going to talk fast, but we really need to start breaking a few things down, okay? Look at gold. It's continuing all-time highs. It's defying gravity. This thing is non-stop right now. You could literally, in the last couple months, close your eyes and buy pullbacks and hold, and you're in the money and you're making money. But do the markets always move like this? No. So we don't want to just get in the habit of just thinking that when markets move like this, that it's easy to trade, because trading is very difficult. Just understand, if you're counter trading, you can see right now counter trades are short-lived. So you got to have some counter trading rules. And then if you're buying with the trend, you could at least hold it a little longer. or to the next resistance point. So when we're doing a top-down analysis, quick little zones to identify. This is one obvious zone that was the previous all-time high right here. So once we identify it, stretch it into the future, I see the volume is closed above and trading above it. So it has to be a green zone right now. There's one more zone right over here. This was, again, another previous all-time high right here. And it was resistance. I see a blue bar closing above it. I see it's already tapped into it when last Friday. And look at how it just tapped in, got rejected, and look at how the weekend opened up Monday with a bullish ignited candle. So just like when you're looking at a 5-minute candle, when a 5-minute big bearish candle comes into this zone and it gets rejected and it's closing right there, you see how it carries the momentum into the next bar. Even the daily candle shows you the same characteristics. It opened, ignited, and continued to drive, okay? So just that small little zone, I've got it identified just in case we ever do come back down into there. But now we've got some points of interest and some price discovery that we're trading at right now. So first thing is, this big bullish candle did close above all of this resistance. That's one bar I'd like to physically cut in half and maybe figure out where the halfway point is of that. Where is it? It's right there. There's the 0.5. I highlighted with the yellow line to illustrate to me that this is a daily point of interest. I'll make it a little thicker so everyone can see it. If I want, I could also get a little bit of a point of control out of that body as well. It's right there to the 382618, a little bit above that 0.5. And it's right there, okay? So you can see how I figured out the point of control of Monday's volume. I see that we still have not transacted back into here, just showing how strong the bullish momentum is, okay? So just continuing following the candle, we opened bullish ignited. I can also highlight this right there. Very strong opening, came through there, made a high, came back and closed right there. So there's my closing price yesterday. I can see my opening price right there, and psychological number, 4,670. There was a slight drawdown right there. So that's my low of the day so far on today's body. I illustrated it with a purple line. There it is. 4,660. Okay, again, another psychological level. And now I see, did it come all the way into yesterday's point of control? No. So it's a shallow pullback. The buyers were asking to trade right back at the opening balance. It did its job so far, which its job, each bar has a job to do. If it wants to continue trending, it needs to break the previous wick, which it did there, and continue to drive to a new all-time high. Guys, look at that number. I do not make this stuff up. It's been now 6 years ongoing, saying the same shit on YouTube day in and day out. Look at that psychological number, 4,750. Does Unk not talk about this stuff on a daily basis? I do. So that's today's daily high, but it is also our all-time high. So all-time highs I mark with an orange line, Donald Trump's makeup face. There it is. So 47.50, it got rejected, coming back down. And this is where we're trading at right now, 47.38, still a big body candle. Just with the current volume, if I do want to cut it in half, I know it's a moving body, it hasn't closed yet. We still have 6 more hours, but just right now, if I just want to kind of guess or estimate where 50% of the current volume is, it's right there. So I place a yellow line, 4,700 and some change, 470304, just above 4,700. So if we were to pull back and sellers push it down, maybe right there, we're going to have some pending orders or some buyers, holding this level down, that psychological 4,700, and maybe start to move it back up. If the buyers lose 4,700, then we might be pushing down where to test the previous daily high wick, which was resistance and could be support right there. So this little body inside here could be where we get some consolidation on the daily. But now 47.50. So if we continue pushing up to the all-time high and breaking out, again, use your whole numbers, 4,800, go all the way up to 4,800. There it is. Okay, but I can also cut this zone for easy math. 4750, 4800, half of that, it's the other psychological number, 4775, right there, right? So I can continue to do this as high as I want to go, 4900, 5000, I could go 4850, 4825, 4875, depending on whatever time frame I'm trading and whatever I'm looking for, okay? You guys, I trust you guys can do that. Price discovery, it's not that difficult to do that. And then when you get to a whole big number like 5,000, that's your big psychological number, okay? Now, obviously, it's very bullish on the daily. We're still making highs. Pullbacks are healthy, higher lows, new highs. Pullbacks are healthy, new highs, all-time highs. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down this daily candle in the 4-hour increments. Okay, so you can see that the 4-hour candles were consolidating in this big long flag for a couple days, and then they broke out when Sunday at market open. And look, it still hasn't even retraced back into like this location right here. So you see where we were flagging. It was bullish 4 hours, bearish 4 hours, bullish 4 hours, bearish 4 hours. And then we broke out again when this was today at 10 p.m. going into 2 a.m. Big breakout. So you see, we still have not even retraced back down into 50% of this body right there, the 4690. We're continuing just to drive up higher highs, higher lows, all-time high, consolidating here now. Okay, so our 4-hour candles are still very strong volume. And I can see this was Europe 2 to 6 a.m. So this represents everything basically from Europe. This was the pre-New York COMEX leading into Wall Street candle from 6 to 10 a.m. So I can see the pullbacks are still higher lows, getting back to the opening positions here. This is one level I'm going to mark on my hourly. So this is where there was an hourly close, hourly open. I can see it's already retested and still held up. So I'm going to place a point of interest right here, but I'm going to utilize a white line now. So anything I do on the hourly, I use a white line, whether it's 4-hour, 2-hour, 1H, I use a white line. I know all my yellow lines are dailies. I know an orange line is an all-time high. I know my purple is my low of the day. So this is how I color coordinate everything. And then I look at the number. The hourly support is sitting at a nice psychological level, 47.25. And it's now consolidating in this flag. So I see we just came up. You see, it didn't break that all-time high orange line. So we do technically have a lower high pushing back down, but we're in this range right now where we got buyers, sellers. Next 4-hour candle could be buyers, but we're about 3 hours away. So this 4-hour candle just opened up. It opened, it was bullish, could not break out that. It failed to fill that wick and drive. So it's getting rejected, and it did come down there and went back up. So if we get this volume now coming down, maybe we get some black volume closing below this white line, we might have one further push down to get down to this next 4-hour transition level right here, where we had a body close and a body open. Okay, I could sit on the 4 hours and watch this, but I don't have the time for that. So what I do is I break the 4-hour down now into the hourly. Now I can see more specifically what time, which hourly candle it was that started to break out. I can see there's midnight, there's 1 a.m., 2 a.m., here's London, 3 a.m., there's 4 a.m. Look at the consolidation, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. This was COMEX, broke it out. There wasn't any North American news to really justify any of this. Then when Wall Street kind of opened up 9 to 10 a.m., we hit the all-time high. And since then, we are pushing down. So this is that hourly support level. We got to see if we get some volume below here, closing below. We've had a push down, we've had a push down, but I don't see any black volume closing below there. So it could continue to return right back up, right? But we got to know that we're trading at the all-time high. And we do have some hourly resistance right here in the last few hours, right there, 47.40. That's where that candle closed. That's where that one opened. So you can see where the volume is really concentrated right in here on the hourly. Now, when I bring it down to the 5 minutes, this is our 5-minute candles. This is what we're normally used to when we trade here. I can see the 5-minute candles. Now I can see exactly 9:25. As soon as Wall Street opened, 9:30. That was the big drop from the all-time high. It retraced its way right back up there. But you notice that is a lower high on the 5 minutes. And then they closed it right below. There's that white line, what I just justified as the hourly point of interest. And then you see when it rotated right back up, got rejected, pushed all the way down. Then we were barcoding here, blue, black, blue, came back up. But you see now how the 5-minute volume is trapped in between this hourly resistance, hourly support. If I don't want to trade this entire, excuse me, if I don't want to trade this entire white, these white lines, I can consolidate this zone and see if buyers can technically close back above here. Maybe we'll push for a new all-time high, maybe to 4775, that yellow line. However, if the sellers start to push it down, maybe we will push it down to here, okay? So is there any type of trend we have on the 5 minutes? If I mark the all-time high orange line, I connect point A to B, right? And then I just extend it into the future. There's our trending, descending line that we have on the 5 minutes, okay? But we're also in this little tiny pennant right over here where it's still holding up, okay? So what we got to do is maybe technically wait to see what's going to happen, who's going to accumulate more in here. It is trading sideways. Let's add our daily bar indicator just to let us know the overall direction on the daily. So we know our opening price was all the way over here, like, 6 p.m. There was an initial low when it opened. We created it came back. And then you see the big pump when it started right over here, coming all the way back up. That's where we technically hit the all-time high. The highest point was right at 9:30. So this move that we're coming down is producing the wick on the daily candle so far. But still, we got bullish volume, continuing to maybe want to challenge that all-time high, maybe break higher, or that's it. Maybe we're starting to get offers here, and the market might push down one more time, okay? What we can do is add some EMAs, EMA 9. Okay, we're trading right at that EMA 9, that green line. EMA 200 is right here. You see where it's located? Specifically right at that hourly supporting area right there. So we'll see, maybe, will it come all the way down? If it does, and you get a sell from here down to there, measure that. Real easy, simple math. 26 minus 12, you can do the math in your head. If you can't, then just measure it with the ruler from right here to there. If it comes all the way down there, it's about $14 move in gold. That's about 140 pips, 100. You can calculate it in points if you're trading futures as well. And when it gets down there, you have to acknowledge that's an hourly resistance. We're at the 200 EMA. We're close to a daily point of interest, 50% of that daily bar. And that's where it could come down, get buyers, and come right back up. So, if you are selling down there, you got to know that you are still counter trading. Like, it's overall bullish, bullish. So if it does come down there, that's where it could find the buyers again to take it back up. However, if we get the 5-minute volume closing below there, we might get one further push down to this yellow line. Then we have to respect that line as well. Okay. But right now you can still see that's the lowest point it's came down to. It is pushing back up. Now this candle is going to close in 4 minutes. It just opened. It's representing like just early 11 a.m. Let's see if we get some blue volume closing above here, pushing. Even an impulse break could impulsively break above here, but maybe we look for closing volume. Okay, so I'll stick with this for about 5-10 minutes, and then I'll do a same analysis on NASDAQ, and we can flip-flop between the both of them and see what's going on. Okay, so we got some news going on here. I'll throw it on our commodities Discord channel right over here with all the snipers in the group. So let's see what we got going on here. Deep Agrawal, welcome. Thank you for joining. I see that you passed a funded account. Congrats, brother. Blackie, nice trades. Beautiful. I see a lot of consistency there. Good job. Welcome, guys. Chris, good job, man. Wow. Nice. Good jobs. Okay, so we're getting bullish momentum. Let's take a look at signals, anything going on over here. Okay, so indices, yeah, we got a big red indices, but NASDAQ, I'll take a look at it in just a moment. We got a AI set up for looking for a sell of US 30 below 48,795, maybe 48,800 below there. I will do NASDAQ today for us, maybe US 30 tomorrow. Commodities. Okay, so what we're looking for gold is maybe selling below here. So what is that level? 47.30. Let's take a look at it on the charts. 47.30 is like right over here. So we're still in that consolidated range. So we didn't really get closing volume back below there. Okay, so we'll monitor that right here, like right around where this red line is. Trevor, you trade zones only on gold now. It's working well. Yep. That's zone to zone trading. Trevor, that's my style of trading myself. It keeps me disciplined. It helps take out the emotions out of trading. You move from one zone to the next zone. You've got a job to do as a trader, just like you got a job to do when you're in the gym. Just do your thing, right? My thing is, take my stop loss, get it to break even. I've eliminated my risk. I've eliminated my emotions. Now, my next thing to do when it gets to the zone is either you can close the trade entirely, be happy with the trade, you made some money, great, look for another zone to zone trade, or you just take some partials. That's what I do. 80-20 rule. I take out 80% out and I leave 20% running with that break even. If the runner wants to continue to go, perfect. I gain some more pips, but I could also follow that runner. Worst case scenario is if the runner gets, like yesterday, very similar. I closed out 80% at that 50 pips and I had my runner at break even. And let the runner go. The runner came back and stopped me out. So in that situation, I was happy that I cleared 80% of the profit. Otherwise, if I didn't, I would have came back to break even on the entire trade. So I don't like leaving money on the table, guys. That's the main reason for that. We trade, all of us trade, obviously. We trade to make money. So when you're in profitable trades, I don't necessarily either want to spend 4, 6, 8, 10 hours staring at the charts. I would love to get in, do my analysis, maybe trade for 30 minutes, an hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours a day, maybe come close to my daily goal, hit my daily goal, and keep compounding that account, okay? But that style doesn't work for everybody, okay? I want to mention that that style does not always work for everybody, okay? But it's a good way to get started, and then you work with that and you figure out what's best for you, right? I had to play around with different styles of trading, and I found that works best for me, helps controlling my emotions, keeps compounding my account. Therefore, I stay in the game every single day, every week, months, years, and I can continue trading. Yes, I do take losses. We all take losses, but they're controlled losses. So if you keep compounding that account and you still respect your risk management, when you do take a loss, you're still technically ahead of the game if you're building your account properly. If I take a couple wins today and then I over leverage on Thursday and I do a silly trade and I don't respect any risk management, or I don't respect my stop loss, I don't bring my stop loss and decrease it and go to a break even, that one silly trade could take away my entire week's worth of profits. And then I'm back to square one and starting over again. So you always have to use risk management with every single trade. Some traders are learning this. Others need to really start to work on this stuff, okay? Now, we're continuing. So we're not too far away from the all-time high up here, 47.50. Will it come back up there? Will it break for a new all-time high? Will it get rejected with a new lower high pushing down? So where do we have some 5-minute resistance? Right here at 4747, right around here. And I'm not in a trade right now, okay? So if you guys are in a trade, whether you're in a buy, whether you're in a sell, or you're waiting, we're at a very critical area, okay? We're not too far away from the all-time high up here. So very well, sellers could come in and start offering this move down and push it down one more time. It could build some support and come back up, or this could be the leg that technically breaks out of here, okay? So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on gold. I want to do NASDAQ really quickly. I really want to do NASDAQ really fast. Get this out of the way for us, and then we can flip-flop between both charts. So NASDAQ real quick, top-down analysis. Okay, so I'm just going to start with what I see here on the daily. We've got this big move up here. What is that? Okay, I don't see anything behind me. So that's obviously the all-time high on NASDAQ. Can we mark it? Yes. Okay. Again, all-time high, orange line. Is there a zone below it? Yes. So I go from the orange line to maybe those bodies right there, and then I make it red. I carry it over into the future, right over there. So I see we haven't tapped back into that all-time high zone. I see a lower high and a push down. There is some good support at, you can see right here where there was good resistance right there. Turned to support with closing volume. We also had a retest of that block and stretching it into the future. You see when it came down, back up. So that's a good zone to maybe look to continue to buy NASDAQ if it ever gets down there just below 24,000. We do have some critical points of interest. Here was a pivot that when it came down, it stopped right there. Yellow line for the daily pivot. Here's another daily pivot right here where it pushed down. It stopped right there. Okay, so another yellow line. Now I can see we broke it and we're trading right above it right now, okay? So if I follow now more closely on last few daily candles, I see a bearish candle that closed below structure. I would cut that in half, like I normally do. So there's the cut point right there, cut in half. I see we broke up, okay? But then it got rejected and the volume still closed below that halfway point. Again, the next day, it came up Friday bullish, lower high, pushed back down, volume closed below. And then over the weekend, we opened ignited bearish yesterday, continuing with that momentum, make a new low and close right there. So if I cut yesterday's candle, okay, right there, just cut it in half, give me a halfway point. 25,400. You see the psychological level? So now I got to follow today's volume, right? We closed right there. We opened right there. So where's my opening price? It's right there. When we initially opened, it was bearish, bearish, bearish. It did its job, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on my opening price. See this yellow line? That was that pivot right there. I'm just going to now move this one down to represent yesterday's low. I'm going to use my opening balance to represent today's candle. It's fresh, so it's in the market. It's holding still. So we were bearish, 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 broke. That's our low of the day. Okay, so the sellers were in control when the day started. However, they're not in control right now. Okay, see how the candle flipped. So there's my lowest point of the day. I see that it broke that low. Look at where it is. So there's the lowest point of the day. 24,975. There it is, right equal to this day, Friday, December 19, that ignited open. See where it's holding? Okay, so then it reversed back up. Look at, they've rejected this candle all the way back up where it flipped back to the opening price. It turned bullish. That's our highest point of the day right there. So we have a bullish pin bar on the daily, but there's still 5.5 hours left to go. So it just got rejected. Now we're just transacting right at the opening balance. So again, this is where sellers could take control, push it back down. But this is one level I'd like to see if they can break below that, or if buyers step back in. Maybe it comes halfway right here and goes back up. Maybe it could hold and we continue to drive, break today's high, and then we get up to literally 50% of yesterday's volume at that 25,400, and we see what happens there, okay? So right now we have a big swing. It came down and it's swinging back up, okay? Now if I go to the 4 hour, I can see now how we were moving down on the 4 hour. There was the Sunday night open, 6 p.m. We continue push down. Here's Monday, 6 a.m. Remember, it was Martin Luther King Day, so there wasn't too much volume trading. U.S. banks were closed, but it was still trading. Here was the open Monday, 6 p.m. So we started to drop during the 10 to 2 a.m. Here's Europe, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. So I see Europe was the time we hit the lowest point of the day, came back up. Now we open. This is pre-New York, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. It came up strong. Bullish engulfed that bar. And then look at when we opened, came back, retraced. If I found the point of control of this 4 hour bar, this engulfing bar, cut it in half and literally use your Fibonacci, you would be right in there. So I can move that yellow line right now to represent this low, and now we're coming right back up. So this is our resistance here. You can see the 4 hour candles are building to break through here, but they could get rejected back down. If I go right into my 1 hour candles, I can see, okay, we were making lower low. It bounced back up, lower high, new lower low, but it stopped right there, 4 a.m. 5 a.m., 6 a.m. started to come back up. 7 a.m., here's 8 a.m., here's Wall Street, 9 a.m., here's 10 a.m., and we're still building our way back up. But now we're trading at this purple line, and we got rejected there. We just got rejected there, okay? So we got to see maybe if volume closes below the CL line, might have some further push down to the downside, or we consolidate here, and we might see NASDAQ continue breaking up bullish, okay? Now when I go into the 5 minutes, okay, I can see now where the big move was, 9:30. Obviously, this is Wall Street, okay? So it was trading right at the halfway point. It was a shitty market open. There was bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, held right there. So we're still holding Wall Street market, that 5 minute candle, still holding, continue come up. There's a little 5 minute pivot that we just had in the market. I can kind of acknowledge it right there at the bodies in those wicks, 25,200. But now we're struggling at the highest point of the day. Came up, back down. Came up, might be coming back down. If we break this, we might come back down. If it holds, we might be breaking out new daily high, and we might get up to that yellow line. Okay, so we're watching NASDAQ right now. Adding a daily bar. Remember what I just showed you? It was that daily bullish pin bar. It was all bearish when it opened, flipped back up, and this is where now we're transacting right at the opening balance, and it's thin volume right now, but we'll see what happens here. 9 EMA, we're right at the 9 EMA. 200 EMA is right down here, okay? Okay, so we'll leave NASDAQ right over here. We'll continue to watch it. This candle is going to close in 60 seconds, so I want to watch this close at this yellow line. Looking at gold. Okay, so gold found some resistance, pushing down, pushing down, pushing down. Okay, so we've got both candles that are going to close now in 30 seconds, and we're approaching 11:30 very, very soon, okay? Guys, on YouTube, if you can leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, we do appreciate it. You can join us trading live daily, and hopefully you learn and you become a much better trader. Remember, trading is, and life in general, is improving. It's not proving. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You need to improve on a daily basis. Okay? Life is about improving, not proving. Trading is about improving, not proving. You don't need to prove anything to anybody, but you need to improve on a daily basis. I'm sure all of us have things that we need to improve on. I got shit to improve on. I got to get back in the gym. I got to improve on eating better. I got to improve on those things. Okay, so we got a bearish ignited candle coming back down. So you see, did any blue volume technically close above that hourly resistance? Impulse, 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 no close blue above there. So the sellers now are controlling it and pushing it back down. But every time we've got higher lows, higher lows. So we're in this little, higher high, higher low, higher high, might get another higher low and come back up here and reject it for the second time. What we're doing is we're watching for sells below 47.30 right over here. NASDAQ is pushing down as well. Okay, so NASDAQ, we've got a double top. Okay, so it came up one time, there's the neckline, came up two times, grabbed some liquidity, failed to break for that daily high. So now it's coming down like an M. Okay, I'll just change the color so you guys can see here. Okay, so this is what we're looking to break. But when it breaks, it might break impulsively filling that wick. And look at what it's trading into. It will trade right into 50% of this big bullish candle right here at 1020, and it's right near the 200 EMA. So got to be careful at this area. Maybe the sellers push it down right down to there, but it could pick up support and come back up. This is what we literally have to see. If NASDAQ closes below this, then it might have enough selling pressure to break this daily point of interest and then really start to drop down. Okay, so but right now it's still at this neckline area. Okay, red line, there's the bodies, there's the green box right there. Okay, so that's what we literally have to watch for on NASDAQ. Okay, gold, okay, so came down, caught a wick, might be coming back up, right? Could flip and then fill those wicks and continue driving. It's still in this uptrend. I'm just going to check my spreads on the securities, guys. 1 second. How's everyone's day going? Look at that flip on that gold candle. So it came down bearish, bearish, bearish. Coming right back up as a bullish pin bar hammer candle with 2 minutes to go. Let's see where this thing can close now. Will this be our first bar closing above here? Trevor, your grandkids have gone now, so you got some peace. That's nice too, to have some peace. See, NASDAQ came down to that, that M, but still building its way back up. Okay, so maybe we consolidate right here. Justin, you're holding your baby and trading on your phone? That's multitasking, man. Holding a newborn and trading at the same time. I've done that before, okay? So I can tell you, Justin, it is possible. I don't recommend it, but it is possible. Imagine doing it with 2 kids if you had twins. Holding 2 newborns while scalping on your other hand on your mobile. That is some skill. Okay, and look, guys, we're moving into 11:30 in 1 more minute. So we got a new 30-minute candle coming in, okay? So let's keep an eye on our 30-minute candles on both of these securities. Okay, so I'm going to watch gold closing here. Okay, we got 20 seconds going to close, and we're going into 11:30, new 30-minute candle coming in. Okay, so again, rejection, rejection, rejection. If it closes below here, we might see 11:30 open with a bearish candle coming down if it closes with this volume below here. Here's the close. Okay, so close below, bearish. Okay, will it come back? Will it be like, no, see the little bit of blue. Okay, so I know it got a little bit of a wick. It's still black here. I got a good spread of 0.5 if I do decide to trade in here. Okay, so it's blue. So when you see a blue candle, its job is to fill those 4 wicks, right? Let's see if it can do it or if it fails. Okay, so you see how it's a big blue candle coming right up. Will it fill? Its job is to fill that previous wick. Right there where my dotted line is, 4743. And if it can break there, possibly fill that wick. They're not these big, large, long wicks. They're rather short wicks that this candle could fill all those and drive up to this point of interest. However, if it gets rejected, then we know this is the 5th time it got rejected without creating a high. So, that strengthens my bias maybe to take a sell if the candle turns black, maybe to break through here, fill that wick, and drop down to this red line, where we're looking for sells at 4730 down in here. Okay, so let's just take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ came all the way up there, open, bearish ignited, pushing down. We're right at that opening price, so I'm going to let it fight out here on that 30 minutes. I can see, the 5-minute candles are coming up, down, not the greatest. We're right at that opening balance. I'll let the buyers and sellers fight it out for a little bit. We're very close to the daily high. Just again, I don't want to get caught in this type of volume. It's going down, up, down, up. Maybe let's be patient a little bit, wait it out again. Gold is still building. It has not created a new high yet. Okay, that's a wick, 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 wick. 3 more minutes to go. Lots of time on the candle to continue to build. Sorry guys for flip-flopping, but we're looking at two securities. Tomorrow what I'll do is I'll put them side by side on one single chart. So tomorrow we'll do gold, and we'll add US 30 tomorrow. We'll switch it up, but I'll keep one chart split screen. And then I don't have to flip-flop. Okay, so still strong bullish candle. This is representing the first 5 minutes of the 30-minute candle. Let's fill that wick, fill that wick. Will it fill that one? Continue. And then that was the previous high right there where that red line is. Does it have enough juice to get up there? Or will it get rejected back down going into the close? NASDAQ came all the way down, retested that daily point of interest, which is the opening balance. So we got some buyers still respecting there, coming back up. I just want to see like what will happen at the daily high. Will they spike the liquidity, get rejected? Will it close above there? Will I be able to maybe look to buy a pullback if it does break there? So still watching NASDAQ. Timmy, do I look at other multiple timeframes on other monitors, or do you stick to the 5 minutes? Yeah, if I'm trading like myself and I'm not using OBS on one monitor, I'm not using like Zoom on another monitor. Yeah, then I have like different charts with the different timeframes, so I don't have to flip flop. So if I'm trading gold, one monitor will have gold like maybe on the hourly, and then maybe one monitor will have it on the 15-minute. And then I'm trading on one monitor, the 5, and I flip to the 1 minutes. But yeah, I want to see the overall perspective of the time frames. Absolutely. Yeah. If you do have multi-monitors. In this situation, when I'm streaming with you guys, I love you guys, but it takes a lot of real estate on all my monitors to have all this streaming stuff. And normally when I'm trading, I'm not doing all these things. I'm not a streamer. I'm a trader. There's a difference. I'm learning the streaming game. I'm learning. Unk is learning. Give him some time. He's getting old. You guys think gold is going to sell tomorrow? Maybe. Tomorrow Donald Trump is talking at the World Economic Forum. Who knows what he's going to say tomorrow? Okay, so here's the close. 8 seconds. Okay, we still have a wick. Still some blue volume above there. Okay, so it wasn't one of those big body candles, right? So it's still some indecision here. It's still strong. Still looks for buys. I think if we wait it out, maybe just continue to be patient here. And NASDAQ. I really want to see what NASDAQ will do at the daily high, if it can do something up here. And this right here, that previous resistance, looks like to be 50% of that bullish candle. Like if you're looking to buy pullbacks on gold or 4738 right here. But if the sellers can close it below here, it may have enough volume on the higher time frames to push it down into here. But right now it's still holding bullish, still holding. Maybe we could look to take a buy to the all-time high or to the daily high. Okay, it's building right above here still. It's these small doji candles. Still have a strong daily candle. So I just want to see if we're flagging up here and we can continue to drive up to that red line and test the all-time high, daily high, and break it. Okay. I'm going to go in a buy and I'm going to test it out. I'm in a buy now. I like how it was consolidating, closing volume. These are short wicks that could possibly be filled right up to that red point of interest right there. I'm in a buy. I'm going to place my stop loss just below that previous low wick and that ignited body. So I'm going to put my stop loss just below there, and I'm going to look to take out the all-time high and maybe new daily high and see if gold can continue to trend up. So I'm in a buy on gold. and I'll monitor it. If it gets slammed down and closes like black below here, I might even exit the trade prior to it hitting my stop loss down here, unless I can see it building a wick like right here. But I'm in a buy. Okay, so I want to see if we can continue to drive up, see what happens at this red line 4747. If we get blue volume closing above, we could definitely take out that wick and technically take out the today's daily high, which is the all-time high. And let's see if gold has enough volume to maybe potentially get up there and test that for a second time, the all-time high. It's a strong daily bullish candle. Still see it still holding its momentum. So let's see if this thing has a little bit of volume to continue to get through here. NASDAQ, yeah, NASDAQ could approach today's daily high as well. I'm waiting to see what will happen up there. Very thin volume up here. Very thin volume, like towards these wicks, and right here, this little consolidated area. Got to see if we can break through here. If it gets right, fills up to that previous resistance, that will be 30 plus pips, 35. That's traditionally where you can lower some risk. But ideally, if we break out of there and we fill to that high, it would be about 50 pips. And then I know we're not too far away from the daily high, all-time high. Okay, but we did break for a little high. Can the volume continue to push on this new 30-minute move? So we got a nice 30-minute candle. Can we continue to backfill this big 30-minute wick that opened at 10 a.m.? Let's see. Also, closing volume would be nice to close above here. Maybe we get an ignited move to continue, or if it pulls back, we'll pull back into 50% of this body. At least we got a body of volume currently, and we got 10 more seconds to go into the close. Man, where's the volume when we need it? Okay, so we closed right at the high. We got an ignited body open. So technically, can it just continue to hold, build, and break? Okay, so the candle lost its open. I can see it, the black, it's flashing black. Okay, so I can zoom in. So even if I cut it in half, this candle, it's kind of like my entry point. So that's where I'd like to see if it can gain some support. However, if it's a big bearish engulfing candle coming all the way down, then I could start to see that it could produce a next bearish leg. However, we got a higher low wick, right at the halfway point. So let's see if we can continue to maintain it and get the asking price right back up here and fill our own wick on this candle and continue to drive up there, okay? It would be lovely to test 4750 again. Okay, we got a good return, good wick, or spin top. Now we just got to continue asking 47.45, get up to 47.47, where we were previously trading at 10 a.m., 10:05, 10 after. No, we lost it. Okay, so now it's retesting. This is what I was afraid of, a bearish engulfing candle getting rejected down here. Okay, but we got to let this thing continue to build. NASDAQ, just missed that daily high just by a few points. And now it's got the big bearish candle coming down. Are you guys looking to sell NASDAQ? Yeah, we can look to sell NASDAQ right below, this yellow line here. That's the opening balance. This candle will close in 5 minutes. Let's see if it actually closes below here. I was looking to see if they would spike the daily high, grab that liquidity. Apparently they don't need it right now. So it is coming down. We'll keep an eye on that. We've got a higher low on gold. I'd like to see if we can close them as maybe back up here near the opening balance, like as a bullish pin bar to continue to build one more candle out of here. And we've got 2 more minutes to go into the close. That's a good return. Now let's see, can we build a bullish pin bar candle, hopefully maybe a hammer into the close and keep driving. So we picked up some good pending orders down there. Now, can we build off this momentum of this candle? It would be great to get a nice hammer pushing right through here and then test our red line. Previous resistance, and we're not too far away from that all-time high. Let's see if there's any news. Lutnick is talking right now. He's the U.S. Commerce Secretary. If we cut interest rates 100 basis points, you're going to see the United States grow 6% or more. I don't know if we'll get a 1% cut, but okay, 30 seconds to go on the close. We've got a bullish pin bar. Let's see if we can close strong on this candle to the upside. Maybe carry that momentum into the next candle because we got a new 15-minute candle that's going to open in 15 seconds. So let's see if we got a good solid close. Maybe we can capitalize off of this next bar. Okay, here's the close. Okay, pin bar, ignited open, popped a wick, driving. Let's see if we can get all the way to that red line. Remember, I marked it out. Should be about 35 pips to the red line. That's when you can start to reduce risk if you like. But let's see if we can drive right into that. Again, if we drive above it, we get closing volume above there, we can momentarily make that resistance support to get us close to that all-time high, but to maybe get up to that wick right there. Okay, good move, driving up there. Approaching the red line is about 35 to 40 pips, depending on your spreads. I'm going to reduce my risk right now, right up to the bottom of that wick right there. Okay, that's a good move. Perfect. I'm going to take out 80% up there. I'm taking out 80%. That hit above my 40 pips. 80% out, 20% break even. There we go. Okay, and I'll follow my runner. Right there, about 45 pips. That's where I closed out 80%. Realized the drawdown on that pullback, but we got some pips out of the market so far, and then got to be cautious up here near the daily high and the all-time high. Okay, but now I got to follow the volume on my runner, right? Did you guys understand that? That was quick. It was fast, but I see that we traded above a 5-minute point of interest. I felt like it was a good opportunity to take some money out. Right? We're scalping. I'm not looking to take this trade and hold it till next week. It's a scalp. So I'm playing from this where I bought in to take it up to this target. It broke through, and I was happy right there, taking out 80%, moving my stop loss to break even with the remaining 20%. Now what I got to do is follow the volume. This helps me learn. Also, when I'm trading, I'm learning. I'm earning, and I'm earning as well. If my runner wants to continue go, I got to watch that runner. Will it close with the volume above? Can I build off? This is how I learned. Will this red line from resistance turn to support and things like that? That's how you can continue to learn. And emotionally, psychologically, financially, I'm happy, right? Now we got to watch in the close. So I have no risk, no capital. I already pocketed some money. Now we just got to follow through. Sorry, guys, I didn't see NASDAQ. Okay, so NASDAQ did close below. So see how the candle flips now? But the yellow line could be the resistance now. Here was that kind of that breaking point to see if we can break below there. I just want to follow gold because we're in a live trade right now. So I just want to follow with gold. Robium, you're fully out. Congrats. Awesome. Chow Boy, the GAN box tool is good for a quick box with a... Yeah, the GAN box is good too. Yeah, absolutely. It's another tool you can use. Mike, you're out with 80%. Congrats, brother. Okay, so we got 1 more minute to go into the close. So you see how that red line is still holding resistance. Yes, there was an impulse break. That's when I took out my money. But you see that wick right there, that is technically still a lower high. Okay, like if I look at that wick right there at 10:05 this morning, we're still below it. Okay, so now it's pushing right back up. Let's see, can we break it now? Going into the close with 1 minute. Also, I'm following volume. Can this volume close above that red line and maybe it will be support? Maybe it might be our cut line. Maybe it might technically be our cut line when it closes. But that's a good move right there. That's a full 50 pips, okay? And then to get to the previous all-time high would turn into about 75 pips. And my runner would be running up there. Okay, I'm still in the money, 20% invested. It's not peanuts, still some money in there. And now we got to follow the close. See, look at that bullish ignited body, broke the high, continued to drive, got rejected, but continue to fill. Look at that red line right there. The previous resistance could be the support, and it might technically be exactly the cut line. Okay, we closed again right at the high. Bullish ignited candle. Wow, we might have enough to get us, on this bar right up to that all-time high. This is where if it encounters a big rejection, look at the red line. 47.47, that resistance that we were trying to break is now the support, and it's technically the halfway point. If I bring my Fibonacci tool from the opening to the closing, look at it. It's pretty much right bang on. There's the 0.5. If I grab the point of control of that candle, right there, but you see how heavy it's coming down with selling pressure? Right at the all-time high. Okay, lots of sellers at that all-time high. They're protecting it right now. Wow. See, that's a big bearish candle coming down. Okay. So now we got to see, can we pick up buyers, continue higher low? See, sometimes when you're right near the daily high or an all-time high, there's big sellers. Same with NASDAQ. That when we were close to the daily high, there were those big sellers, but it's rotating right back up to trade into 50%. Okay. So got to continue to watch this. You guys are fully out of that trade. I know sometimes this is an ugly bearish candle, but you just got to understand where we're trading. We're trading at the all-time high, right? So you got to understand that there could be a big offer of sellers there, and they're there, okay? But now what we got to rely on is our buyers, pending. So there's the wick, higher low, didn't break that ignited body. Now we're coming right back up. We're above the point of control currently, but there's still 3 more minutes to go. If we flip this bar and we flip it all the way up and we turn pin bar, we could definitely take that all-time high out and go higher. But this is where the battle is now between the buyers and the sellers. And the sellers are protecting that all-time high right now. And the buyers are continuing asking to trade up here to break that all-time high. So we're trading with the uptrend currently, but there's a lot of sellers trying to push this move down. But we got a good return wick. Beautiful, in my opinion. That's a beautiful wick to return. And look, holy shit, we might even flip this candle. Wow. Who thinks we're going to take out that all-time high? This is the fight between the buyers and the sellers now. Let's hope we break it. Man, there, we flipped the candle blue, so it turned into a pin bar. We're back at the opening balance. Now, short wicks, we're filling possibly right up to that orange line. But this is where the big battle's going to begin. Less than 2 minutes to go. You think it's overbought? No, it's not overbought on the 5 minutes. We're at 60 RSI. It's got a lot of room to continue to break through here. That's the really silly indicator, RSI. Okay, 60. Overbought is anything above 70. Wow, there's the flip, there's the break. We just tapped right into the all-time high. You can literally, if you didn't take out profit, that would be a good opportunity to take out there. That was 75 pips, right? Kiss that orange line. So that was it. So we hit a double top at the all-time high. Those are equal highs. It would be disgusting if we see tweezer top highs, unless, here's the break. There we go. We got the break. So if it closes above this red zone, we flip it green, we might build one more bar off of this to continue to drive to 47.55. But that's a good 75, 80 pip move. Wow. 5,000 this week on gold? Who, God knows, maybe. The way how gold is going, maybe. Silver, 100, 110. Guys, please do something up here, okay? You know that meme where it's nudging you? Please do something. If you're still at an unrealized stop loss, you should be at break even up 75, 80 pips. If you didn't clear out a little bit of profit, please take some money out. Let's continue compounding our accounts together. Learn the habit of this. As soon as, if it breaks here, oh man, here's the close, here's the close. Let's follow this. But do you guys see how that red line held the 50% right there? Like, it broke a little lower, but it flipped. There's the close, okay? So just, I need a cut line. Any one of these red lines, there's my cut line, okay? 50%. We're trading in the all-time high supply. Short wick. Let's pop this shit and just break right out of here. If we can. There we go. Perfect. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go. I'm going to close my entire trade. That's a 100 pip move. I can buy some new gym equipment for myself. I got to buy a new gym equipment. There we go. I'm closing my entire trade. Full transparency, that's a 100 pip trade. Beautiful. I'm out of this. Trade closed. You trade closed. Wow. Out and in the money. Yes. So if we're still following this, guys, we're still following, we're still learning. If this blue volume closes above this, this orange previous all-time high could be the support at this psychological level of 4,750 and 75 cents. I don't make this shit up. I do not make this up. Those are numbers are for real. Okay. We can end this call right at noon in the next 4 minutes. We came, we saw, we conquered, we got some pips. Now we go work out in the gym. My wife is making me do all that in the gym. I had my gym in there. It was freezing cold. It's negative 30 outside. When you grab the weights, your hands, the dumbbells, your hands freeze. That's the way how I like put a hoodie on and go work out. Holy shit. But then my wife wanted to work out in there. So she's like, can you add some mats on the ground? Can you put some mirrors? Can you put some shelves? I'm like, okay. So she's ruining the man gym, and I put a heater in there. Guess how much my heater was? I put a heater in there. I kept the temperature at 25 degrees for the last month. And just the heater alone in there, I keep it on all day. I don't turn it off. I wanted to see how much the bill would be. It was $500, just the bill to keep that garage temperature at 25. It was $500. So this trade basically paid for that. Yeah, it's a lot. But maybe 3 months, December, January, February, freezing cold here where I am in Canada. Guys, it's going to go negative 37. Negative 37 tonight. I don't even know if my cars will start. But that's a 140 pip move. Please, guys, this could be a FU candle. Okay, it could come back down here, close as a shooting star, and boom, it could start selling off. So just scale out. I'm not telling you close your entire trade, but do take some partials. Get in the habit of doing this. Please, 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 please. Let's see what NASDAQ is doing. Because we're going into noon. It could be like a 12 p.m. momentum reverse. 5,000 by power hour? Maybe, who knows? Like, gold is unstoppable. Like, when you're selling gold, you have to be very disciplined on a counter trade. Like, if you got that candle, if you got that leg down, if you got that, you got to pip and dip. Otherwise, just go with the trend. The trend is our friend. Trade with the trend as much as you can. Okay? That's basically trading in a nutshell. Trade with the trend as much as you can. If you counter, make sure you have rules. I have counter trading rules. If I short an uptrend, I know to pip and dip. Get my money and get out. Because I know it could definitely continue to go back up. I've learned that over time through a lot of mistakes. Okay? But this candle is going to close in 25 seconds. Again, if it closes above here, this zone that I just did a little bit above, a little bit below that all-time high, previous all-time high, I'm going to make it green. Because if it continues to consolidate here and flag, yes, it could continue to drive, fill that wick and go higher. But if it starts to close below here, then we could be starting to come down. I saw that. Slay. Shay, sorry, it snowed in northern Florida. I couldn't believe that. It snowed in Jamaica. I had one of my buddies message me, and he was in snow in Jamaica. Is that normal? What is going on with the world? Okay, so you see, guys, look, I don't want to be that person that tells you, like, I told you. But there's the big return wick. I know it held some body, but noon comes in now. This is the hourly return. Look at how it opened bearish ignited and coming down now, okay? So this is like clockwork, like I always say. When you go into a 30-minute candle, when you go into an hourly candle, when you are in a trade or you're learning, you have to understand this concept. Please, just understand this, that this could be a momentum shift at the hour. And if you're in a trade, it could affect you. If you're looking to take a trade, this could be an opportunity to look for trades, okay? See where I took the trade? At 11:30. I waited for the new 30-minute candle to open, this bar right here. Okay, so you see, and then when it came, that was the extended move right to 11:55, and noon starts and returning it back down, okay? And it could be a big elevator coming down, and it will wash away a lot of your profits, okay? So please, if we can, trade with a plan as much as possible, okay? Let's see NASDAQ. Yeah, NASDAQ is still just playing around here. Up, down, up, close to the daily high, back down, coming back up. I'm not convinced on taking a trade on NASDAQ just as of yet. I don't like this price action. Wow, okay. You see the elevator coming down at noon? holy shit, like this could come all the way, to where I took the trade at 47.43. And it would be demoralizing if I had 100 plus pips and I didn't do anything, right? Think of the emotions, the swing, like I could get really pissed off right now. And then I take another trade. And then now it's like, you got to understand, the markets play with your emotions every 5 minutes. It's unbelievable what type of discipline you have to have every single candle. Hopefully I'm explaining this to you guys live. If I just took this trade by myself and I came on and then I just said, guys, I took the buy here, you wouldn't understand my emotions going through it. You wouldn't feel it. I'm telling you guys why, like, you have to understand the way how price action trades at specific times. If you don't understand what I'm saying, this is what you need to learn. I'm telling you. It's very, very important. I wouldn't be wasting your time if it's not important. Once you start to understand these little details, you're going to clean up your trading. You're going to clean it up. Believe me. If I could do it, I know you guys can do it too. It took me years and years and years of studying these things to understand this. And I'm trying to teach you guys in a live environment as much as I can. Do you know what I mean? So that's why sometimes when a trade goes up 100 pips and breaks an all-time high, I don't feel bad taking my money out. And then I see right prior to noon, it comes down. Now, someone will say, well, Ron, look, it got a wick and it's returning back up. Yes, that is in fact true. But what happens if it closed below there? I guarantee you would be another black bar coming all the way down here and then attacking your stop loss. But yes, same with when we were in the trade. We had a big black candle and it returned back up. But, I don't trade with the woulda, shoulda, couldas, because every candle could have been, I would have done this, I could have done that, I should have done this. I don't trade like that. I used to. And that's when I was confusing myself. I didn't know what to do when I was in profit. I didn't know where to take my stop loss, go to break even. That's when greed takes over, all of those things. Everything that every trader talks about, patience, discipline, fear, greed, most traders talk about those talking points, but they actually mean something. If this candle returns back up and flips, holy shit. Someone said in the YouTube, we might see 5,000 by this afternoon. Gold then is completely defying all gravity and just ripping. Timmy, once you master discipline, it becomes like clockwork. 100%. That's I agree 100% with you. Trading, the price action, learning this is the easy part. The hardest part is when you're in profit, what do you do? When you're in drawdown, what do you do? Things like that. Those are the things that discipline. You can't teach discipline. I wish I could teach discipline. It's one of the hardest things to learn. Discipline comes within you. It's how your brain operates. It's how you think, It's what you tell yourself. I talk to myself in front of a computer on a daily basis. A lot of people think you're crazy, but I'm literally talking to myself, telling that inner, that voice saying, Ron, you should be holding, or don't take out profit, or this or that. That's why I say, guys, trading is the most difficult thing as to do on a daily basis. It's easy to go to a job, close your eyes and do your job every day. I don't think when you're doing your job, if it's nothing like really, really analytical, you're not really, like if I'm flipping a hamburger at McDonald's, I'm flipping a hamburger. I'm thinking about other things. I'm not second guessing myself when I flip a hamburger. When you're trading, you're second guessing yourself on every single candle, whether you're in profit, you're in drawdown. Should I go in? Is it an impulse? Should I wait for a break of retest? What pattern is this? What's going on? Oh my God, what happened here? What was this? What did it grab like? There's a million things going through your head. That's why just come with a pattern recognition, something you recognize every single day, and stick to it. And if you see it happening more and more and more often, then you got a high probable setup. And that's what you should be mastering. Keep trading simple. If you keep overcomplicating it, it's going to become very difficult for you. You're going to spend months and years to try and figure this out. It's not easy, guys. But I can't stress the importance of, I love price action. I believe that price action is king in trading. It's real leading indicator. It's telling you the exact price at the open, at the low, at the close in real time. There's no indicator that can display that real time information. Okay. Price action is the most important in my opinion, but what is also, above price action when you learn the technical skills is, Trevor, you said it, risk management and patience and discipline. Those things cannot be taught, guys. You got to teach yourself that. Okay, so you see it came back down. This was that not like now when I look back, whether I'm in a trade, out of a trade, it's review time. So this is how I learned how this previous resistance line with the volume closing above turns to support. There it held support, there it held support again. But you see how it broke through. So it pierced through. So the sellers had momentum to break through there, but have not closed below there. So if sellers can manage to get it to close below there, that could break that trend line and then it starts to come back down, right? But now it's still building inside here. This could be, I can see a pattern. There's a top that broke the all-time high. There's the neckline. It might want to come back up. It's already below, so it's a lower high. What if it comes up? Could be a double top right there, but here's the lower. So if it comes there, breaks, it already pierced through. So, a wick does the damage. The body tells you the story. So if the body of volume comes back down there, closes below, maybe comes up to retest this, then there's our drop. Coming back down to this location. That's where we previously bought in, could break that, and then start dropping down. That's where we could see gold start selling down. But if it keeps grabbing buyers here and continue to come back up, we could break through here and continue driving up, okay? So now can you recognize at least a pattern? You can see two legs right now, okay? You can see a leg that came up and a leg that's starting to come down. So now what we got to see is, will it come back up? Will it break, close above, or just keep below here and come back down, okay? So you still see how it's still holding higher low support. See how that candle came down and just flipped right back up, okay? So now we're in a consolidated phase in between this red zone and this green zone. This is where now the market, if you don't feel comfortable trading the shit inside here, don't trade it. Box it in and watch and see who accumulates more. You guys are smart. Gold is not going to trade in here all day. It's either going to make another attempt to break through here, do something like that, or it's got some more room to push down to find maybe bigger pending buyers down in here, right? It's not just going to trade in here all day. So this is what taught me to be patient, disciplined, wait. Yes, there could be impulse moves, but you got to learn how to trade on impulse. If you feel like an impulse trade, lower your lot sizing, you're speculating, or tell yourself, I'm going to, when in doubt, wait for it to completely close. See, now, where I entered that trade, the total was 140 pips. I didn't get up there. I got 100. But had I not done anything, you know how many times I've seen in my journal where I got greedy and I didn't have a plan, and then watch an entire trade come all the way down, back down to where I entered, and then I'm sitting there scratching my head saying, what the hell did I just do? How much money did I just leave on the table? Why did I not do something? We can talk about this all day, every day, but I hope you guys are doing something. You know what I mean? I hope me talking here is helping you guys. If not, I'm just wasting my breath here. It's easy for me to trade by myself, take a trade. When I'm done, make a 5-minute YouTube video of saying, I bought here, I did this. Thanks, guys. Like and subscribe and whatever. I'm breaking this down live with you guys. Sometimes I get out too early, sometimes I guess, but you're getting a live analysis. I believe there wasn't one live trader when I was learning back in the day. There wasn't one that went live, believe it or not, Now we see live trading. You can go on YouTube right now. There might be 10 live traders. So it's great live education. It's the best education you guys can get. And look at that, still holding, coming right back up. What if it closes blue above here? I'm going to make that red zone green, and we could have another continuous leg continuing to drive. That's a higher low, you know? And it's all formed at these zones. That is literally what we were just talking about with Trevor, zone to zone trading, right? Look at it now. Holy shit. Like, how tough is gold? My goodness. Okay, and this candle is going to close in 2.5 minutes. Now we'll see an actual, will there be a physical double top up here? Will it continue driving? That's a big wick to fill. Remember, we got lucky. We had nice low wicks to fill, and we kept driving, like low wick. Look, ignited, pop, fill. Low wick, that was a big bearish candle. I was looking to see if we would hold 50%. Came down a little deeper, but it returned. Short wick, pop. Again, another short wick. That's why we continued to break out. But now you got long wicks. It's a long wick to fill, okay? So make sure you guys are learning your wick analysis as well. But guys, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. I promise you, when you join us on a daily basis, you're going to learn something every single day. NASDAQ is just too choppy for me, okay? Like, you got to be selective with the volume or the bars you're trading. This is not nice. You know, and look at the daily candle. It's just right at the opening balance. So I know, just when I see this, I know that buyers and sellers are going to fight for that opening balance. And just look at it. Unless you're really scalping here, like bar by bar, you got to move up, down, move up, down. It's not moving anywhere. Like, if I was to consolidate all this in there, there's my green zone. There's the daily high. I can see we already got rejected there, rejected there. There's my red zone. So there's my zones. You know, and it's just still accumulating in here. Maybe I got to wait for another hour or something for NASDAQ to move. Right now, it's just not good to trade. This is a range. Please, guys, learn to be selective with the volume you are trading. Gold looks much nicer. Like, look, it's trending, right? It's moving up. Down, pullbacks are getting bought up at where? 50% of that bar. New highs, pullbacks are coming down. We continue to buy the highs. We got ourselves 100 plus pips. Pulled back, are still holding right there. It didn't close below. I don't see a black bar. It's still holding that trend, and now we're still moving back up, right? Just try, guys, you know, to write on your computer with a note, trade with the trend, okay? If you counter trade, make sure you have counter trading rules, pip and dip specifically. That was a nice sell, okay? If you sold that 12, like you saw the rejection, there's noon, and it dropped all the way down there. That's a 75 pip candle. That's a beautiful candle to grab 20, 30, 50, 70 pips and dip out of the market. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with clearing 80% down there, leaving 20% with your runner. So then when it comes up like this, your 20% runner just got stopped out. You didn't lose any money and you made money because you're counter trading and you know how to pip and dip out of the markets, right? Have rules. Any sport we play, if you play football, there's rules. If you play basketball, there's rules. If you play chess, a game of chess, there's rules, right? Trading has rules. You gotta make your own rules when you're trading. If you don't make rules, the market will make your decision for you. It's just like that. If you don't do anything, the market will decide for you. And a lot of times, retail traders fail at trading because they have no set of rules. So the market will decide their rules for them. And a lot of retail traders, including myself when I started, I was an over-leveraged trader. I was a get-rich-quick trader. I didn't understand anything about discipline, no risk management, no psychology in trading, nothing. Just look to buy, FOMO trading, buying the highest points. Then when it gets rejected, over-leveraged, panic, stop loss, lose money, next trade, revenge trade. It's the same story over and over and over, okay? Dave and I have had a lot of snipers come in and out of our group here in the last 6 years. We've had a lot of one-on-ones. You know, it's not just like group mentorship what we do here. We have a lot of one-on-ones. And I've had a lot of one-on-ones with a lot of traders. Also from YouTube. I had one on Saturday with someone from YouTube. And it was one of the best one-on-ones I've ever had in my life. It was unbelievable. And we learned live together on a Sunday morning. I'm sorry. It was Sunday morning. And he learned a lot. So, we helped corrected a few mistakes he was making. And hopefully we're going to do a follow-up in the next couple of weeks after he works on everything that we went over. So his mistakes, I was making the same mistakes. They're very common, same ones you make as well. But, sometimes you just got to hear someone telling you it's okay. We all make these mistakes, but now it's time to clean up these mistakes, guys. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up right now. We were scheduled to go till 1 p.m., but, we came in, we hit a trade, we did our job. I got a few things to do this afternoon. I got to go continue to renovate that garage, get some work done. Tomorrow, guys, is a big day in the markets, okay, news-wise. Mr. Trump, 8:30 a.m. is at the World Economic Forum, okay? This is at a critical time. You guys know COMEX opens at this time. We've got some U.S. news going into Wall Street, all of this. I don't know how long he'll be speaking for, whether it's even right here, Trump will participate in a 1 p.m. White House press briefing. This is from CBC. So this is in less than 45 minutes. It's 12:20 right now. So Trump will be speaking at 1 p.m. Be careful trading this afternoon, guys, at 1 p.m. if you will be trading, because Trump have a White House briefing. I don't know what it's about. It's unscheduled here. And don't forget this afternoon, Netflix earnings at 4 p.m. Netflix has their earnings. Before we go, don't leave me. Let me just go over our this blog right here. This one of this gold corporation. Remember we highlighted Eris Gold a couple months back, and it skyrocketed over 100%. Here's another one, TRX Gold Corporation. This trades on TSX, which is the Toronto Stock Exchange. So this is a beginner's guide to the rising junior gold producer. I'm not saying go out and buy this. I'm saying, guys, add this to your watch list and let's learn. Let's learn from this, okay? We know that gold is at all-time highs right now. So worst thing to do is FOMO trade and buy in. This is something to add to your watch list. If there's ever pullbacks in gold, maybe highlight this on your watch list, okay? Let me just talk about it real quickly. So if you're new to trading stocks and you've been hearing about gold prices going crazy, a lot of you guys just trade futures and Forex and not really trading the stock markets, but we're going to start getting into this. So this is just like a breakdown of this corporation. So it's currently hovering around 3,000 per ounce. This is now a lot higher than that. Companies that actually produce gold can offer some exciting opportunities. One smaller name that's been catching attention lately is TRX Gold Corporation, and it trades on both the Toronto Stock Exchange and the New York Stock Exchange American. So breaking it down, what does TRX Gold actually do? So some of these corporations actually do physical work. So their main asset in the Buck Reef Gold Project in Tanzania in East Africa, in a well-known gold mining area called Lake Victoria Goldfields. Right now, they are already producing gold from an open pit mine using a 2,000 tons per day processing plant, mostly oxide ore, which is easier, cheaper to process. They're actively working to expand that plant to handle more ore, aiming for 3,000 plus tons per day, and move into harder sulfide ore that should allow them to produce even more gold in the coming years, in the future, okay? So, forward guidance when we're looking for small corporations that have growth, this is what we're looking for. They also have exploration upside, new high-grade zones like the recent Stamford Bridge discovery and other areas that could add more gold resources in the near future. Recent numbers. So how are they actually performing? Mining companies live or die by production and cost. So, there's big equipment costs, a lot of to be at a mine, you got to pay a lot of money, so it's a lot of money. If you're not pulling out gold out of earth, your business will not last long. So mining companies live or die by the production and costs. So here's what TRX has been doing lately as of early 2026. So Q1, quarter one, fiscal 2026, which ended November 30th, just a couple months ago, 2025. So they had a record production of almost 6,600 ounces of gold poured, sold 6,500 ounces at an average price of just below 4,000 an ounce. Maybe they held more for all-time highs. Revenue, they made $25 million, more than double last year. This could have a lot to do with the current gold situation right now. Gross profit of $14 million, which was 57% profit margin, which is very healthy if you're reading a balance sheet. EBITDA, your EBITDA, your earnings before taxes and all of this was 13 million. So that's showing a strong cash flow. Full fiscal 2025, it produced nearly 19,000 ounces. I'm not going to go through all of these numbers, but you can read it. Here's a chart on the weekly. So each one of these bars represents one entire week. So there was a big move in 2021. There was some stock splits with this corporation as well, but it's slowly making its way. That's a big wick to fill, just like what we were talking about, wick fills. But you guys see what gold is doing. No doubt in my mind within the next year, if gold continues to defy odds and drive to 5,000 an ounce, these gold mining companies could continue to follow suit. Okay. So on the weekly chart, TRX spent years building a long base between roughly 40 cents and 60 cents Canadian. So accumulation phase, consolidation for 2 years, from 2022 to 24, this corporation was trading at an average of 50 cents per share. In mid-2025, it finally broke out and been trending higher ever since. So it cleared major resistance around $1.20 Canadian. Recent highs have reached $1.50 to $2.12 Canadian. So you can see if you bought some shares early on at 50 cents and it's trading at $2, you made a great return on your investment. Volume has increased on the up moves. So good volume. Remember, we follow volume. When we see volume coming in, that's a strong indication that smart money is coming in. So it's a good sign that buyers are interested. It's a very, very small company. That's why it's called a junior mining company. This is a junior company. It's in its infancy. So it sees Canadian 250 to 300 million market cap. So expect bigger percentage swings than large gold producers. Why traders and investors are watching TRX right now? Leverage to gold prices. As gold goes higher, junior producers like TRX, Aris Mining that we mentioned earlier, Silver Core we mentioned earlier, and silver can move much faster than big companies. Remember, we looked at Eldorado Gold. That's one of your bigger companies. So some of these smaller ones have more upside potential, but higher risk comes with a high reward, comes with high risk. Okay. No, Danny, I'm not an insider trader. I don't have warrants on this company. I'm just sharing some education here. So please don't put that on me here, okay? I'm not steering anyone to, otherwise I'm not going to do this. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it to, a lot of people will say, well, Ron, are you already a shareholder of this company? No, I'm just putting some education out there for you guys. I will tell you guys if I buy shares of the company or when I go in, I'll do it live with you guys. But no, I'm not doing a pump and dump scheme or anything like that. I'm against all that shit. Okay. So please, let's not talk like that. Okay. This is all education here. Production growth. So we're expanding from 2,000 to 3,000 TPD, should increase output significantly. We have exploration potential with this company. It's self-funding, so they're paying for their growth with cash flow instead of constantly selling new shares. So we talk about dilution in the stock markets. A lot of when you dilute your shareholders, you're hurting your shareholders. So, with reverse stock splits, but this company is self-funding. So this is what I respect about companies that do this. They can fund without, borrowing loans, diluting shareholders, issuing new shares on the market. So what that does is it reduces their float. So when starts moving up in price, less shares on the market, less outstanding float, we see bigger, more bullish moves. Okay, so the risk, obviously, there's risk with everything we do in trading. There was a risk I took on taking that gold trade. So junior miners are very volatile. Okay, it's kind of like saying crypto. Crypto is very volatile. Bitcoin is very volatile. So junior miners are the same thing. They're very volatile because they got low floats and they can be manipulated by market makers. So there's big moves up and there's big moves down, right? So that's why you got to have rules when you're trading. Tanzania has had mining regulation changes in the past. Royalties, taxes, permitting. So expansion projects can face delays or cost overruns. If gold prices drop sharply, juniors get hit hardest. So if we see gold take a big sell, like physical gold ounces, like if we see a big sell-off, the junior miners take like more of a leverage position and they even drop harder than physical gold. So you got to understand this when you're trading these junior miners. So bottom line for traders, TRX Gold is a real producing gold company that's growing its output, making solid profits at current gold prices, and has room to run or room to grow if gold stays strong and they execute on their expansion. So it's a higher risk than buying a big gold ETF like GLD is a gold ETF, which is a ETF comprised of gold mining companies, large, small, medium, and or senior producers like Barrick or Newmount Gold. But it also has much more upside potential if things go right. So for us snipers, watch how it reacts to gold price moves. Add it on your watch list and observe, watch, be a spectator, just like you should have been doing with Silvercore, just like you should have been doing with Eris Gold, just like you should have been doing with Eldorado Gold. And you could be doing the same thing with TRX. So key levels to watch support are the $1.20, $1.30 Canadian, resistance near $1.80, $2 Canadian. So if you are going to trade, again, use proper risk management. But it's something to think about. You know, when we move into the stock market, we want to learn all about stock securities. So here's a little bit of a read on TRX Gold Corporation, and it trades on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Okay. So guys, gold is still, above, that all-time high, consolidating, maybe flagging to continue to drive up. NASDAQ now is approaching this level. Maybe it will spike down. Again, it could be a liquidity grab. There's the 200 EMA and 50% of this bullish candle. It could come down, catch a wick, and return back up. I would be looking for buy levels maybe above here if it returns up, or if it breaks this, sell levels to take out that daily point of interest. But guys, that's it for me. So I hope you guys had some fun. Gold is holy shit, continuing to go all-time highs, so short pullbacks, trading with the trend. Let's see if it takes out that new all-time high wick. So that's the new all-time high right there, 47.57. And join us tomorrow. Join Dave in New York. Join the team, guys. We'd love to have you. Dave does 8 a.m. this week, live New York in the private Zooms with the snipers. And I come on post. So 10:45, 11 a.m. like we did today, okay? Have a great day, guys. God bless. I hope you guys are earning with us at SST. Please, guys, trade with proper risk management, discipline in mind. Have some daily goals, hit your goals, and go on with your day. That's the beauty of trading. Like, you could literally trade, for 1 hour, have a modest daily goal, hit it, and go on with your day. That's the beauty about trading. You can't say that for a lot of professions that can maybe hit a daily goal in 2 hours, 1 hour of trading. So, but not always are like that. Some days we spend 5 hours staring at the charts even to look for a possible setup. So it's not always like that, but some days it can be like that. Okay. Have a great day. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you guys. God bless. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we do appreciate it. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Thanks, guys. Have a good day, everyone. Sang, Mike, Sergio, have a good day, guys. A1 everything. Enjoy your day, boss. We'll see you guys.
Recording stopped.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Number Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell it, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure it.